Hola, Brooke. How was yesterday? What was LOTT? What did you do there? I don't know anything about it. So what was it like? You can unmute. That's easier. Oh, you didn't. Okay. So what kind of things did they do? Like what does LOTT stand for? That was like what was the point of the field trip? Good morning, Arshawn. How are you today? Good morning, Marlene. ¿Cómo estás? Good morning, Mia. Okay, so I have a weird question this morning, right? Oh, for seniors who want to get jobs and talk to employers. Oh, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I'm glad it was fun for those who went. Yeah. Okay, so our question today, ¿cuál te gusta más? ¿Los los rábanos, clase, o los osos? Weird question, but you'll see why at some point I'm asking this question, right? It's kind of a entry into something else. So, ¿cuál te gusta más? ¿Los rábanos o el oso? So you can tell me in Spanish in the chat. Los osos. Sí, muy bien. Anybody else? Los rábanos? What are rábanos? What do you think these are, you guys? Can you figure out what they are? Yeah, very good. Radishes. Sí, radishes. Sí, muy bien. So, ¿cuál te gusta más? Los rábanos or los osos? Let's see if Joe Marion joins us today. Otherwise, we're going to get started. We have a lot to do today, you guys. We're going to graduate. Los rábanos. Muy bien. Los rábanos. Muy bien. Arshad, how about you? Los rábanos or los osos? It's a weird question, I know. It's random. So far we have 2 votes for rábanos and a vote for osos. So Arshad, what say you? My vote would be for los osos. Los osos. Right. See. Okay. All right. Let me get my screen up. Los osos también. All right. Bears are the winners. Sí, muy bien. Muy bien. Okay. So let me switch my background. And I know it sounds random, but like I said, you'll see at some point. Yeah. Where are my notes? Oh, here they are. Okay. Clase, hoy es jueves, el 18 de septiembre, y empecemos con los pronombres directos. Now, when I say that we're graduating, here's what I mean. You know, when we learn another language, like you've heard me say before, we have to start just like we're babies, right? So many of us don't, you know, we might be able to give our name or something like that, but we can't even tell somebody how old we are, you know, right? When we start learning a language. So it's like being a baby all over again. And, you know, just like babies, like some of you who may have younger siblings or little cousins or something like that, you know, we don't expect them to talk in full sentences and stuff like that, right? Until they're 2, maybe. I don't know. 3, something like that. We certainly don't expect them to write full sentences when they go to kindergarten at 4 or 5, you know. So it's a similar thing, you know, when we're learning another language, right? Well, if we stop and think about it, when we're children and we talk, right? We might say things like, I like the doggy, right? The doggy is funny. The doggy is brown and white. The doggy runs fast. You know, we might be able to say things like that, right? At some point, 2 years old, 3 years old, I don't know, whatever. Okay. But what we don't expect is for a 2 or 3-year-old to say, I like the doggy. It runs fast, or he or she, whatever. It is brown and white. It is funny. Okay. In other words, the idea in a language where we can sort of stop repeating ourselves. I like the doggy is funny, the doggy, right? And sort of like stop repeating and replace that doggy with it or he or she. Okay. That's a whole nother level of language acquisition, right? So when I say to you guys that we are going to graduate, that's what I mean, right? We're going to climb up another notch to another level of language acquisition. Okay. Does that make sense to everybody? Yeah. Okay. So we're going to try to keep it simple. But remember, you guys, in Spanish, we always have those 4 things that we have to consider. We have masculine and feminine, and we have singular and plural. Isn't that right? So we have to keep those things in mind as well. Okay. All right. So that's what we're going to do today. Buenos dias, Joe Marion. And I just want to kind of show you something real fast before we start. And I want to kind of show it to you because this is like the thing that we need to do. Okay. And I just want to lay it out for you in English first. Okay. Oh, and also, you guys, we're having like some kind of stormy weather or whatever. So if I get disconnected, just hang on and I'll try to reconnect. And then if I can't, you guys need to go to the announcements in Canvas for what else to do. Okay. Because weather's kind of goofy today. All right. So what we're going to call these are direct object pronouns. This is what we're going to start with today, right? And a direct object is something that directly receives the action in a sentence. Okay. And I'll give you some examples in English before we start. So a direct object answers the question what and who. So for example, he's reading the book. What is he reading? The book. Okay. In this sentence here, you guys, he's reading the book. Let me ask you a question. In this sentence right here, what is the action that's happening in he's reading the book? What is the action? You can unmute. You guys, it goes faster if we unmute. Yeah, reading. This is our action. This is our action. This is our verb. Okay. So remember that a direct object receives the action. So if in this case, right, the action is reading, what is being read? What is being read? The book. So the book is very good. The book is receiving the action of being read. Okay. And so this is what we call a direct object because it's directly receiving this action. Okay. Y'all with me so far? Yeah. So what we want to do to graduate is we want to use a pronoun. And in English, we have it or them, right? Singular, it, them, plural. In Spanish, like I said, we have the 4 things to think about, not only singular and plural, but masculine and feminine. So we would say he's reading it. So in English, this is our pronoun that we would use to replace the book, right? Easy peasy, no sweat. We know these things from the time we're children, right? And in English, it's always placed after the verb, okay? In Spanish, there's a little more to it. And so that's what we're going to explore. Okay. All right. Any questions there? Okay. So let's go on. Muy bien, you guys. It's not hard. Like I say, I'm going to try to keep it at the, how you say, like the simplest level possible. Okay. Okay. So what we need to do is let's go to Canvas. Let's all meet in Canvas real quick. Because I want to make sure that this is a PDF. So I want to make sure that you guys can actually access it. So we want to go to our Peru, right? Unidad 4. And you want to scroll all the way down where it says direct object pronouns. Okay. And you want to click always on the first thing, because remember, we work from the top down. So you want to click on guided notes. And then let me know if it does not open for you, or if you are having trouble typing on it. Let me know. Jamarian, Arshad, come on. Right, guided notes. And it should look like I think it should look like this. Okay, does it look like this? Is it open for you? Take a look at my screen. All right, Brooklyn's in. Anybody else? Arshad, Joe Marion. Marleisha, did it open for you? Yes? Okay. Mia, you good? Not yet? Okay. Arshad, talk to me. Joe Marion. Turn your whatever other monitor you got on, Joe Marion, turn it off so you're not so distracted, please. All right. Arshad's good. So Joe Marion, how about you? Okay, so what I'm going to ask you guys to do is just real quickly, just kind of scan that sheet, like read it and know where we're headed, right? Because there's questions. What's the direct object? What is the pronoun? What are they in Spanish, right? So just kind of read through that just so you kind of know where we're headed. Okay. And your job, of course, I'm going to put some slides up, and your job is to fill that in as we go. So if I go too quickly, you need to, Joe Marion, come on. I need you to, whatever's distracting you, this is too important for you to be distracted, right? Okay, so you guys need to let me know if I go too fast. Okay, so let's take a look. So what is the direct object pronoun? The direct object pronoun is when you replace words with it or them in English, right? So remember, you guys, you're typing into your notes as we go. Okay, if you have trouble typing in there, let me know. So, for example, Ricardo plans a vacation. Okay, Ricardo plans a vacation. So we can see that plans is the action, right? It's the verb. It's the thing that's happening. And remember, they're not always motion. Okay, sometimes it's things we can't physically see. So Ricardo plans a vacation. If our action is plans, then we have to say to ourselves, what is the thing receiving the action? What is the thing being planned? A vacation. So that makes a vacation the direct object of the verb. Okay, everybody following me? Yeah, because that's the object of the action. So if we're going to replace that, right, then it gets replaced with it. Ricardo plans it, the vacation, singular. Okay. Another example, Ricardo packs suitcases. The action is packs. What is being packed? In other words, what is directly receiving the action? Suitcases, which are plural. So we would say in English, Ricardo packs them. Isn't that right? Okay. So we just need to do the same thing in Spanish, right? Okay. So again, on your sheet, you should find the question, what are direct object pronouns in Spanish? Okay. So you can see that there are 4 of them here because we have masculine, feminine, singular, plural. So if something is masculine and singular, like the dog, the boy, or the book, in other words, whenever we have L, okay, how do we replace the dog and say it, right? Bobby likes the dog. Bobby likes it, okay? And because it's masculine and singular, our word it is going to be lo. So again, make sure you're typing in, you're following along on your sheet. Does that make sense to everyone? Yeah? Okay. If Bobby likes the table, the girl, or the dinner, la cena, right? Bobby likes it. And la cena, for example, is feminine and singular. We would need to say Bobby likes it with la. So that one's not going to change. So L becomes lo and la becomes la. Now, let's talk about what these words mean, okay? If we're saying, for example, el perro, we're saying the dog. But when we replace it in a sentence, just like we would in English, right? Bobby likes the dog, Bobby likes it, okay? The dog and it are two different words. Y'all follow me? And so same thing in Spanish, right? So even though this means the, it becomes it. Even though this la means the, it becomes it when used as a direct object pronoun. Okay, so we have to know what they mean. Okay, so now let's say Bobby likes the dogs, plural. Bobby likes them, and they happen to be masculine and plural. It remains los. If Bobby likes the dinners, las cenas, he likes them, happens to be feminine and plural, it remains las. So the only one that we have to worry about changing is L, but we also have to realize that the meaning is going to change, okay? So let's take a second and pause 1 minute because I want you guys to realize something. Way back in Spanish 1, right? Probably in the first, semester, first quarter or something like that. You should have learned that like el perro, that el means the, right? And la chica means the girl, and la is feminine and singular. Like we learned those things, but you can see, or you should be able to realize at this point, that if we had not learned those things, right, then it would make these things more confusing. Okay, so in Spanish, it's all about graduating, stair stepping. We got to know one thing so that we can build on it. The reason why I pointed out is because Spanish 2, you're going to see a lot of this. Okay, we're going to do past tense. We're going to do all different kinds of verb tenses and stuff like that. So we got to make sure our foundation is good. So because we haven't been together as a class for Spanish 1, if I'm talking about something you don't know, please stop me. I'll be more than happy to give like a little mini lesson or something, okay? Because I don't want you to be confused like from here on out, you know what I mean? Okay, so let's move on. All right, so in your notes, so where do these direct object pronouns go? And we're going to practice some of these on a whiteboard, if I can figure out a whiteboard or something, but we'll figure it out. So in Spanish, direct object pronouns go before the verb. They go in front of. So, yo tengo el libro. I have the book will become I have it, right? So let me ask you first. What pronoun is going to replace el libro? Look at your notes. What pronoun is going to replace el libro? Good, Joe Marion. Anybody else? Good, Marlasia. Look at your notes, you guys. What pronoun, good, Brooke, is going to replace the book? Mia and Arshad, what pronoun is going to replace the book? El libro. You with me, Mia? Okay, good, Arshad. All right. So once we have figured out that we need to use lo, right? I have it, then we got to figure out where to put it. So one rule is it goes before the verb. Okay. And so it becomes yo lo tengo. I have it. So you see, you guys, how we go from talking like little kids, yeah, to talking like more grown-up kids. Okay. Yo lo tengo. I have it. Okay. All right, let's look at this next one. It says Diego y yo, right? Nosotros, we buscamos las llaves. So Diego and I are looking for the keys. So buscamos is our action, looking for. And the thing that we're looking for, which the things that are receiving the action of looking, are the keys, las llaves, right? The las llaves. So it's plural and it's las. So what pronoun would we use to replace las llaves? Good, Jo Marion. Good, Brooke. What pronoun are we going to use to replace las llaves? Rashad? Mia? Malaysia? We all guess. Look at your notes. If it's las llaves, good, Malaysia. Anybody else? C, it's going to be las. And good, Arshad. And remember, you guys, I'm talking about replacing, right? So we lose that word in the sentence altogether, right? Okay. So where do we put it? If our action is buscamos, it goes in front of buscamos. So Diego y yo las buscamos. We're looking for them. We're looking for them. Okay. So our next one is Juan trae el pastel. Juan is bringing the cake. Okay. So we know it's lo because cake is L, right? And so in the chat, what is my sentence going to look like, you guys? What is my sentence going to be? Can you write the whole sentence for me? And tell me, Juan is bringing it. What do I do with lo? Perfect, Arshad. Perfect, Malaysia. Mia? Brooke? Jo Marion. Let me see. Let me hear from you. Remember, the chat is where we make mistakes, right? So don't worry about it. Just put in what you think. It's our scrap paper. Okay, good. So let's remember that we're replacing the cake with the word it, just like we would in English, right? So in English, we wouldn't say Juan is bringing it cake. Are you with me? It's the whole idea. Juan is bringing it. And we're referring to the cake. Okay, so it is a replacement, right? Okay, good. All right. So if our rule is it goes before the verb, that's why, you guys, when we do like the Mario thing and stuff, and I'm like, you guys, find the verb, find the action word, because it all plays into everything we do. So if our action is trae, to bring, then our direct object pronoun always goes in front of the verb. So even if we don't even know what the verb means, it's not going to make a difference. We just need to be able to figure out, like, what is the action, right? Okay, so remember that where do they go? They go in front of the verb. Okay. All right, let's look at the next one. Tú ves a Ana. You see Anna. So which word here is to see? Well, we know it's ves, okay? And then who is being seen, you guys? Anna. who happens to be a female, and one person. So what pronoun would we use? Would we use lo, la, los, or las? Okay, good, Nia. We would use la, right? Because Anna's one girl. So now if our verb is ves, once again, in the chat, I want to hear from everyone. How would I say you see her? Good, Brooke. Good, Marlasia. Rashad, Mia, Joe Marion. You see her. Where would it go? In the chat, please. Because I need to know that you get it. Okay. So we would we say you see her, Anna? We can just say you see her. Because remember, we're replacing it totally, the whole idea.
Can y'all hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Um, okay, our shot can hear me. That's good. Thank you, Brooke. Interesting. Thank you, Mia. Okay. Well, I don't have Zoom, but let me try to reconnect on my computer. Let's see. Give me a second, you guys. I had a feeling that this was going to happen today. No internet. Okay, no internet. Okay, you guys. So here's what we need to do, if y'all can hear me okay. In your Canvas, you should see my slideshow. I think I posted it. Let me double check if I can. Yeah, it's not gonna let me. Maybe you guys can double check for me. Look in Canvas and make sure somebody give me a thumbs up. The only person I can see on the screen is Brooke. Um, yeah. Can you all still hear me? Give me a thumbs up. Okay, Brooke, thank you. So go to Canvas, look and see that I posted, thank you, Mia, that I posted my slides. Okay. And stay in Zoom. Try to complete those guided notes and submit them. And then with whatever time we have left over, I'm going to keep trying to reconnect, hopefully. And if I cannot, then like I said, you guys just stay in Zoom. Then I need for you guys to try to finish your storyboard that. Some of you haven't done that. You can complete any other missing assignment. And just hang out there because I'm gonna pray that they get the electricity put back on. Okay, does that make sense, you guys? Can you do that for me? And I'll stay on my phone here, and that way if you guys have a question, we can try to communicate that way. Okay, sound like a plan? Again, I need thumbs ups. Let me know. Yeah, thank you, Mia. Thank you, Arshad. Okay. All right. So I did publish those slides, did I not, on the direct object pronouns? I did not. You don't see them, Brooke? Okay. All right, I'm going to try to get on Canvas on my phone and then try and do that then. So give me a second. Okay, if I lose you, I'll try to reconnect on my phone again. Okay. Okay, you guys, if you can still hear me, try to refresh your Canvas screen and those slides hopefully will be there. And then let me know. You see them? Yay! Thanks, Marluja. Okay, so try to complete those as best you can. Try not to rush through. Read them for yourselves. We'll go over it, obviously, and submit those when you're done. And then I still need a storyboard from several of you, and then any other assignments that need to be completed. There's also a practice sheet on the direct objects. If you feel comfortable enough to try to work through that today, by all means, go ahead and do it. Okay. If you don't have to worry about like getting a bad score or whatever, we could redo it. We'll work through that. No problem. Okay. So that should be posted as well. So you do have something we can work on, and then we can just hang out here together. So I can answer your questions. Okay, I do need to tell Mr. or Miss Martin that I've got an issue, so I'll be right back. Hey, how are you doing, you guys? Just checking in. Hey, I think I may have it back. Yeah, I think electricity is back on. Fingers crossed, you guys. Okay, I'm gonna try to reconnect all my stuff, you guys. So just hang tight with me. Thanks for being so flexible this morning. I can honestly say I don't like when that happens. I think I have to shut down my computer. All right, I'm gonna shut this down. Try again. I'm waiting. Waiting. Trying. Well, as of now, you guys, I don't have internet. Ooh, let's hope so. Okay, I'm going to try you guys to reconnect Zoom. Um, so I'm gonna end this. You guys stay where you are, and I'm gonna try to reconnect on my computer instead of my phone. Okay, everybody give me a thumbs up. Yeah, okay, perfect.